He thought it was from. I'll finish that later.
It's all of a sudden Randall just stopped talking. He was afraid of saying something that would be broadcast around the world.
It's because of that. Oh, pointing the wrong way. That live thing that just went off up in the corner.
Yeah,
it gets very distracting when suddenly it says live.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Here's another edition of the workbench here at ASM. We've got some of the best modelers on the planet with us.
I'm sorry. No, that was just my case.
When are they joining?
As it turns out, as I was logging on, there used to be only 6 that were able to be in this, but now there are 10.
Yeah.
I think we now can have
10. They changed that a few weeks ago.
You hear that, everybody? We could do with a company. Come on in. Come on
Yeah,
in.
well, hi, Jamie. Jamie, yeah, I was
Jamie.
saying that
Jamie.
StreamYard is now allowing 10 people in a room instead of just 6. So we got some good things going on. Today, we're talking about the weird things in scale modeling, the weird tools we use. And you might think that we were opening up a medical practice or a beauty salon or something like that, just on the basis of what we have in our tool repertoire. So I I did a survey. It wasn't very well. I don't know if it was well received, but I can't seem to find it on MeWe. And I was asking, what's your favorite unique or unusual or something you have in your toolbox that you didn't know you could do without until you got it, and or something like that. Mine is this. It's a caliper. Jim talked me into it. And whenever I reach for it and use it, I'm like, whatever I do with it. So that's what we're going to be talking about. But first, I'd like to do some screen share of things, and just to highlight every month that I'm a big fan of Round 2. And Round 2 has their new video out for August. Is this showing up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Camaro. This is just a model of their video. I just they even have the Vega. So for all your car modelers, some interesting. And I see back in our background there's also the Cobra. So yeah, a lot of good car models are coming out, as well as our friend Lou is now into a new project, doing a Space 1999 vehicle. I have not had the pleasure of watching this video yet, but certainly I'll make time in this weekend to watch it, because he's just so much fun to watch. I can learn a lot from him by hosting, actually. And of course, this is Randall's little build of the Saunders Row.
The SR-53, it was a dual propulsion jet and rocket interceptor that they'd planned in the 50s.
Okay.
Before ground-air missiles got better.
Okay. This is just to point out that our MeWe community, where is it? Where is our MeWe community? Look at that. Is this our MeWe community? Yeah, it is. So this is our MeWe community, and I just want to highlight that to take a look at. Look at that, to highlight what we're doing over there in building. Okay, let's open it up. I'm going to go to Phil right away because he's the obsessive one. What is it that you like? What is it you like in tools that you think that you can't do without, and it's not very common? You got a homework assignment. I thought you thought about this.
Yeah. Well, aside from the common stuff is obviously the nippers and that, but There's another thing which isn't really a tool. If I don't have that, I can't even see. To do that.
Magnifier? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Notice, boys,
I
he's
can
not
put it on
wearing it now.
with
He
the big
doesn't want
eyes.
to see us, you know.
There was something else which I found extremely useful. That's some of these.
Forceps.
Oh, yeah.
Extremely useful. I didn't know I couldn't do without them until I got some.
Oh yeah, they come in so many. Like that's the standard ones, but there's probably 30 or 40 different designs of these things.
Yeah, because they almost replaced these little where you squeeze them to open them. I mean,
Parallel
these are
tracers.
these are extremely
way more grip with the forceps than there are with than those.
Aren't they called hemostats or something like that?
Yeah.
yeah. They're
Hemostat,
essentially
other name,
but based on the design for clamping off
Clamping off veins and that. Yeah.
Although I don't think you'd want to use these. These are cheap and let's just say that.
Unless you're doing surgery on yourself.
In that case, covered in paint.
I suppose that might be useful if you end up stabbing yourself with your scalpel. The one other thing is this.
Box cutter?
No, it's actually a scalpel, but
a retractable one.
A retractable scalpel. So
you're less likely to accidentally stab yourself with it.
Indeed, yeah. So you can put it down. It's actually it's quite thick. So for my big fat lumpy fingers, you got a better grip than you have with. Okay, where's that gone? There we go. So one of these.
Oh yeah,
which are really thin. So yeah, these are great, sort of. But I have to basically stand them up, pushing into a sponge in what's essentially it's a beef paste jar, obviously without the beef paste. Although that might help stand them up a bit, but yeah, it's preferably without the beef paste. And then you put a sponge in the bottom, and you just sort of upend them in there. But this is using that.
You're giving me the chills over here.
You feeling threatened all of a sudden?
Very, very much so. Even George, was saying that the hemostats could be used as roach clips too. So
yeah, I don't know. I haven't got any roaches here, so I couldn't really demonstrate.
You smoked them all.
Oh, I thought you meant cockroaches. Oh, I see what you mean now, yeah. Wow. Whoosh.
I'm laughing. I don't even know what a roach clip is.
Well, yeah. Well, we don't advocate drug use, but we do recommend it.
You'd blimey. Hang on. Let's do this then. Just you have to use your imagination a little. There you go.
Well, we do that with the metal parts, I guess. We just light it and just,
Not that I'm advocating it in any way, shape, or form.
No, we have all our glues and everything else to get to do that with.
We don't advocate it. We just recommend
it. Ever since Tamiya extra thin, I've never felt the need to smoke.
Well, I prefer the liquid help. I don't like that, but because it makes me dumber than I already am.
You mean the adult beverage of your choice?
Yes, the adult beverage of my choice. That makes me smarter. Makes me quiet and laughy. Really. Anyway, let's see. Who do we pick on now? Jamie, you can't hide.
Hello. Yes.
I saw that momentary look of panic there, Jamie.
What tools do I use that I wouldn't be without that I would look a bit different? Let me see.
Yeah.
Remember, keep it clean, Jamie.
I have one of these. That's
Yes.
Circle cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an everyday tool. It's something you buy, but it's brilliant for when you're cutting out circles on anything you want to get a bang on to do for the job you're doing. The other thing I wouldn't be without, I don't think most people would, is these
Wow.
little mini files,
Micro
files.
files. Okay.
micro files.
Mhm.
Also, I wouldn't be, definitely not, without these. Boys,
Oh, micro brush.
For picking up etch.
yeah, it's called a stick it.
Ah,
And you know where you can stick it.
I'm offended.
And I don't think any of us would be without one of these for when we lose stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Torch.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. Well,
I certainly.
remember back in the day, I had a whole bunch of them. Now you showed it was a torch, but it reminded me of the 35 millimeter canisters. The film when you buy film for 35, they had the plastic canisters. Does anybody use those? Yeah. Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
And,
They're kind of a harder to find.
just in case I forget what's in it.
With a K. Okay.
I used to have bags of those things, and I don't know. I think they all disappeared now.
And they also fit very nicely into those little Tamiya rattle can lids,
There you go.
Yeah.
along with the decal setting solutions, etc.
There you go.
No more knocking them over.
What else you got there, Jamie?
Well, my ultimate tool, which I could never be without, not if I've just finished this.
Ooh.
So that is a tennis court on a plain mat. Yeah, that is all. And to do that and build that, I certainly would not be without one of these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Folding tool.
Oh, look at that.
Once you get one of those, you never look back.
No.
Wow. I never thought that would be. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're doing photo etch and they require you to bend and fold and stuff, how do you do that? I always gently scored it and tried my best.
Yeah, well, this specific tool here is designed to. It comes with its own little blade, which is in a little package here,
Okay.
which just protects the blade. And it, depending on what size photo edge you get different things you put under. So if you've got a thin piece, you can rest on there. If you've got a longer piece, you can put it along the back. Or if you've got, a bigger piece, you just put it on there. Then you tighten the nut up here.
Right.
And use the tool, this tool, and slide it underneath and just bend it, and you get a perfect square edge. So you don't have to. So you end up with a box instead of having something inside of here bent because you've used your fingers or you've used a bit of a knife edge blade, and that's how you do it. And that's why I wouldn't be without that tool today.
I've got the square variant of that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same thing, but
They all do the same sort of job.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be without it for the photo.
oh yeah.
How much did one of those run?
The one I brought, it cost me about £35.
Yeah, that's around about the price.
Pounds.
There's another one. I haven't put this together because I haven't had a need for it yet. Is Paragraphic's little break for doing photo etch.
Yeah. A photo etch tool for a photo etch.
Yeah. But it's actually a folding break at the same time.
But yeah, that's generally what I use for out of the box. Not so usual tools that people use. I've got loads of others, but I can't be bothered digging them all out of the cupboards. I think it all comes together as you go along. You drop unlucky sometimes, and you find a tool, and it's not the norm for modelling. but it comes in really useful for jobs that you're doing, and it makes life a lot easier when you're building the models. And I've got a dog that's moaning at me.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jamie, your high and tight looks good.
Thank you.
You knew what I meant.
Uh,
I used to wear that. It's just too much to upkeep. You got to go to the barber like every week to get that kept looking like that. So, yeah, good job.
Yeah.
How about
That is do it yourself.
Oh, is it really? Wow. Wow, you must have no calyx or anything like that.
No, it was just lucky.
Oh, I got calyx all over my head. That's why I'm crazy. I've been licked by a cow. No, look at who's coming in. How you doing there, Voodoo Models?
Oh, right. Very, very quickly. This is for George because he made the suggestion.
Holding a scalpel. Yeah, that's pretty frightening. All right. So what distracts you from your weird modeling tools and habits there, Mr. Randall?
Just one of my tools that I can never ever do without, and it's one of my oldest ones, is a good old Swiss Army knife. Other countries and military services are available. It's my original multi-tool. The scissors used for cutting decals out, and for even snipping off parts off the trees long before I ever got one of these things. Actually, I would still use these because because they are scissors, there's more of a shearing action with them. So especially for trimming off canopies off the sprues and what have you. Little tweezers that come with them.
Yep.
And for pushing the decal around on the surface, a little plastic toothpick, which is not terribly sharp, so there's a danger of tearing the decal.
Or stabbing yourself?
Or stabbing myself, yeah. No, that comes later with the likes of the regular blades that come with it. And even the screwdriver still comes in handy for opening those little tins of paint. You know, the Revell, Umbro, you know, that kind.
Oh yeah, those little tin can paint cans. Yeah.
And even this particular version, Phillips head screwdriver.
Looks nothing like my head.
Funny, I was just waiting for somebody to say something. Pointy thing for making holes before I start drilling. You know, it's at least a dozen tools in one little package.
Well, one corkscrew in it, which is helpful too. But not for modeling, it's for lubrication. It's for lubrication.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, this one doesn't have a corkscrew for once. Funny, when Jamie was showing his photo etch bending tool, I lifted mine down, and then I sort of rediscovered a very helpful tool these days. It's a magnet on the end of
magnetic pickup, yeah.
Telescopic bit. And it even had a torch on the end. This is very helpful these days.
I've seen things, but I've never seen that thing.
Very handy for picking up things like that there instead of, you know, scrabbling around on your hands and knees looking for it, and then
yeah,
picking
up the hard way. My feet find that sort of thing.
Is that a direct question to me, Randall? Because every time I've gone online, there's a part missing, and then you just see this head bopping up all the time on the table.
I've dropped more things than enough. I think I would need. I definitely need one of those aprons that hooks onto the model bench.
Yeah.
How about zero gravity? Would that be better?
Oh no, that would only give me an extra 3 dimensions to lose things.
Yeah. Plus, of course, the danger of actually inhaling the small photo etch part.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. If I accidentally drop something, it should just stay there. But at least here, with gravity operating in only one direction, there's only one direction they'll go.
Right down.
That's it. Yeah.
Randall, that could be debatable if you drop a small enough piece. You might think you know where you dropped it, but it could end up by the stairs.
The problem is it's not the down bit that's the problem. It's the horizontal bit afterwards that's the problem.
Yeah, where it bounces to or rolls to. Yeah.
How can a small flat piece roll? I really don't understand that, but
halfway across the room too.
Halfway across the room.
Yeah.
Sometimes out the room and down the hall.
Yeah.
On carpet. Not even
It's one of the world's greatest mysteries. How a little piece of styrene can go from one little room to another. There must be some.
It doesn't even have to be a little piece of styrene. I lost a plastic cap off of a bottle in this shop.
Oh, yeah.
I have yet to find it yet. I was over the other side of my computer. I lost it, and it's nowhere to be found yet in this shop. It's like vanished into thin air.
And then watch what happens. James gets off the thing and he finds it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But it's like this little vortex that goes from one room to the other with the pieces.
Yeah.
I don't know. I last week I wasn't around because we rented a dumpster and we filled that dumpster out of the basement pretty well. And if you've been around long enough, you all know that my hobby room was down in the basement. So when we were cleaning out the basement, I bend over and pick up this little plastic piece, and I'm like, oh, that's where it's gone to. So eventually you did find it, but of course, like 6 years ago, so the building's already done. I don't need the part. Anyway, how about you, Jim? What kind of the weird?
Okay, unusual tool. The one that I can't do without: a rubber mouse pad.
Ooh,
No,
That's
it's
an unusual too.
yeah, but it's the greatest thing if you're folding no with paper craft, but with the photo etch and everything. If you've got to shape it, you need a soft surface to work on it.
Oh, for God.
And so if you go onto with a rubber mouse pad, it makes it an awful lot easier to shape it.
Yeah, Jamie had some flashbacks to puppy pads when he saw that. Isn't that right, Jamie?
Another kind of issue is I have a pair of suture scissors that are these things are very sharp but very fine at fine detail. If you got to get in really tight.
Well, that'll get the glass out of your hair if you ever have a glass fall on you.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a suture handy, would you?
Yeah. The other thing I use is artist stainless steel carving tools. I find them really handy, and because of the fact they're stainless steel, the glue doesn't stick to them. So they're good. They're good for an end like that. You can clean out any raised or sunken details to get in tight. Clean them out with, and a flat end is good for moving things around without scratching anything.
And it becomes really cheap if you've got a friend who's a dentist.
Yeah, we can buy it's not like a dental tool. These are carving. These are for for clay carving and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying the dentist tools are very, very useful.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of picks and crannies there. Look at that. So,
Oh my God.
I'm actually in the market for this because, I don't want that. Oh, no, I don't want to look at my
Yeah.
I'm actually in the market for it because I bought at Wonderfest a couple of them and I lost one of them already. I'll probably go down to the basement. I'll probably find it.
It's amazing what Amazon you can buy from Amazon, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Just can't buy Women of the Night yet. Anyway.
Other thing I use a lot is a burnishing tool.
Ooh.
Like this one's got a 1 mil ball at one end and a 2.5 at the other. But I've got a set. It's got all different sizes. But this is the most common one that I use for it. But it's good for scoring on plastic or paper or whatever. Without.
I was about to ask that, Jim. Is that good on plastic and paper?
It'll do plastic too. Yeah, like that's got a 1 millimeter ball on it. I've got one that's a 0.5 millimeter ball. It's really super sharp. It's almost like a point, but it's not.
So this be like for putting the creases for folding paper and like forcing the paper into little dome shapes or something like that. Or?
Yeah. You can use the ball end. You can use the ball end, and I have used. You can use for paper. I use mostly for paper, but you can also use the ball end for doming photo etch and that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have a doming set too for doing larger jobs. You know what a doming set is?
Nope.
Male and female, like you got the dome, and then you got like a dimple. That you put the stuff in.
Pistol and mortar type of thing. Jeez Louise.
James, you have all the best toys.
And that's about it without getting into some of the other stuff that I do use. I mean, I do have a setup with a Dremel tool set up in a drill press that I can use with a XY bed. So that I can use it like a milling bed for either cutting a slot or sanding in a straight line or something.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Heath? Hello.
Yes, I just had to get myself a drink of water so I don't get a dry throat. I don't have really any really odd tools. I mean, the only tools I've really got are like my 2 hobby knives, my sprue cutter, and I've actually got a pull apart. I'm trying to think what it is. It's got a pliers set. It's got a knife set. It's actually got a little saw with it too. It's kind of like a Swiss Army knife, but it's just got less things in it. So that's the only unusual thing I have. But most of the tools I have are the same that every modeler has: sprue cutter, 2 hobby knives, plenty of band-aids in case you cut yourself.
Oh yeah.
Always a good idea.
Yeah. And then the earbuds, so you can put the decals on smoothly and not when clean up the water when the decals decide to not play nice and just decide to bubble up.
Now that you mentioned Band-Aids, I keep the phone number to the next urgent care place handy. Because one time it was like really stupid. I was holding my hobby knife sort of like this, and I went to reach for something, and my thumb went right over the blade. And just,
Oh.
so, of course, I wrapped it up in something and squeezed it. But by the time we got to the doctor, my hand was tired of squeezing my thumb. And then he unwrapped it, and he looks at it, and he said, "Oh, that doesn't look bad." And I said, "I've been squeezing it for like an hour already." And then he just kind of like parted the ways of the cut and crying, but it was gushing pretty good. So Band-Aids wouldn't have worked in that regard, but 6 stitches did.
Yeah, there's like an artery that runs up through your thumb that is quite serious if you get it cut. So
yeah, so when we're talking about cutting tools, I would encourage everybody not to be stupid and be careful and using them, because we all have our stories.
Pointy end down.
And
Pointy edge down.
Oh, but hang on, Jim. Hang on. If you do it pointy head down, how do you know your foot's not going to cop it if you drop it?
well, there is a solution to that. You can even just wrap a piece of masking tape around it and have a flap. And so if it rolls, it just would roll so far.
Well, Jay, actually, we all remember Jay, Mr. Jay Barron.
Yes.
Remember what he used to say. If ever he cut himself, he'd use super glue on the cut and it'll work.
I did that one time. Boy, did it sting.
Well, obviously, Jay has a low pain threshold.
Well, it's not sterile. I mean, I think that's another thing to point out. It's not sterile.
Well, it's not sterile, but you have to wash the thumb first, or whatever extremity you've cut.
Well,
and I'm not going anywhere near there either. This sick brain of mine is thinking of every possibility, and I'm not going to say anything because I'll probably be chopped out of the flammable queue.
No. Speed dialing the nearest urgent care is better than super glue, actually. Well, I don't know. I did it one time, and I was just like, I'll never do this again. So I really don't recommend it. Although Jay says it works, I'm like, well, you're right, Jay. It does work.
It just stings like hell.
And did you know that's what funeral directors use for the deceased's eyes? Keep them from open. I didn't know that. I worked at a hardware where we had a mortician come in and buy up all like cases of super glue. Wow,
and what has this got to do with modeling exactly?
Well, it's just unusual tools.
But unusual tool, yeah, super glue to keep the deceased eyes open.
I do feel this conversation's suddenly taken a bit of a darker turn.
Yeah.
But bringing Jay up, he said that if you don't have a tool, you can always sort of make one. And I have to say the one thing, and this is not something that I've made yet, but I found a popsicle stick, and I will glue sandpaper to it and use it as a sanding stick.
Yeah.
And
I remember Jay saying something like that.
Yeah, he gave me that idea, and I tried it one time, and I liked it so much I keep doing it. I just get, and sometimes, the paper would either wear out or just fall off the stick. So you just re-glue it. And I found that Gorilla Glue works best. But I think there's some kind of waxy backing on sandpaper that seems to resist glue.
Yeah, especially if it's wet paper.
Yes.
You can also, if you need to get into a very small area with a sanding thing, you can get the sanding sponges, a bit like one of these that's squishy.
Uh-huh.
Cut a small bit off that and then glue it on the end of a coffee stirrer.
Oh.
Coffee stirrer.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Helps to get into little spaces.
Tight spots. Yeah.
Tight spots.
You've earned your name, Phil. Obsessive detailer. Yeah, you've earned your name there.
I know.
Those coffee stirrers come in very handy.
Yes.
In fact, the local Starbucks probably wonder why they go through so many of them.
Yeah.
Well, Nowadays, you can't go into one, so I
I
don't.
was going to
You
say,
have to
I'm
have one.
about to run out now, and
Other coffee shops are available.
Oh, we're not talking about that today. No, sir, Bob.
Well, no, Jay did say that, I don't know if that's in the UK, but there's a coffee stirrer, it's like a stick with a tiny little paddle on the end.
Yeah.
And he said he's used as a glue applicator and things like that. So, I mean, Jay's very resourceful. Very
He is.
resourceful. And it's
He
just that
is.
he's with us right now to
Unfortunately.
show us some of his things.
Oh.
There is something on. He also does a lot of beauty shop makeup type stuff.
Yeah.
And I looked this up on Amazon. I'm in flux right now in my workshop. I'm trying to create more room because I'm working from home. And just as I figure it out, I'm sure I'm going back to the office, which is kind of insult to injury. But I do have the big one here. Not the set, but I do have the big one.
The big blush brush, yeah.
Right. And what I use it for is for weathering.
Ah.
You can get pigment and brush it on. And let's see, any other pictures of it? Oh, there's a nicer picture. So these can come in handy. They also come in handy to dust things off.
Yeah.
I've noticed that when I did my 3D printed models and I have the recessed areas, the inside of the creases seems to, you wash it off with water, but it seems to cake inside those recesses.
Yeah.
And artist brushes do well getting in there. Maybe these might be a little too soft, but you can get stiffer brushes, artist brushes, just for that purpose. To get it out. Eventually, I mean, if it gets bad, you can even pick them out with a toothpick or even a dental tool. But brushes are always good. And I'm also looking. I'm forever organizing and never being organized. Again, from the makeup bunch, Lazy Susan, it looks like, with different levels and different compartments.
Yeah.
To store things and make things equally at hand. So I've seen somebody do one of these, and really they don't cost that much. It's only what? This is $27. I'm sure you can buy something cheaper. But the brushes were about not even $10. But yeah, the makeup realm. God, I got to learn how to not do that. The makeup realm has a lot of things, and Jay even uses makeup sponges for stuff.
Oh, the makeup beauty supply store is a famous resource for modeling.
Although they may look at you sideways and you bring a whole heap of flaming bloody nail.
They don't care as long as you're buying stuff.
Well, over here we get looked at.
well, okay. Jay said that a lot of the stuff in the beauty store are in hobby stores. The difference is price.
Yeah.
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 If you can get some of the nail file,
sanding sticks, yeah.
Sanding sticks you can get
and
at a hobby store.
Yeah.
So a hobby store you get 3 for $40 or 4 or 5. Beauty store you get 10 or 20 for half that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Stick the name hobby in front of something and just watch the price escalate.
Has anybody gone to a beauty supply store? Because I haven't yet.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When I'm looking for certain stuff, especially I'm looking for my sanding sticks and that, or my little my famous clamps I use for my paper clav.
Oh, for the hair. Hold on, let me get
These ones are different than the ones you see at Walmart and that, because these ones are stainless steel and they're a lot stiffer. They're not like the tin ones that you see at Walmart. But I get them at a beauty supply.
You use it for paper modeling.
Yeah.
Okay. I usually go to my local booth on the market that sells women's stuff and using the Tamiya pastels. The women use these, I don't know what they call them, like a padded brush to put eye stuff on.
Yeah.
But exactly the same thing what they use for the Tamiya pastels. So
Yeah.
and they're only you go to a modelling store, you buy one, it's like £2 or £3. You go to there, it's like 30p.
The other thing you can get beauty supply is you can spend the money and buy dental acrylic for doing your windows and stuff like that. We can buy nail acrylic from the beauty supply, and it's like a third of the price.
Would it well, I think the dental acrylic would be a lot more rigid.
The same stuff.
Is it the same stuff?
Same stuff.
Mm-hmm. You know, the four-way sanding blocks,
Yeah.
great for polishing up seams and stuff like that, and it's nice and flexible, so you're not sanding it flat.
Yeah.
Into the seam. So, and you get about half a dozen of these for a couple of pounds, and in the supermarket.
Yep. All different grits you can get too.
Yeah.
You can
I
get
mean,
you can get up to like 5,000 or 6,000 grit on them.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a sec. First,
I know there's like these flexi files that you get from online. You can get exactly the same thing for
They are.
Yeah, George liked the makeup stand. Yeah, I gotta do, because I like things easy at hand. I think the only way I'm gonna keep my workbench relatively clear, because it's when I'm on a build, it's like everything's everywhere. I don't know if it'll help me, but certainly it's worth a try for the stand.
I'm famous for using medicine bottles, which I have in abundance. So.
Medicine bottles.
Yeah, little bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Those are different than here in the States. I don't know. Ours are like typically tall and narrow.
Oh, they're all different sizes.
Yeah, they're all different sizes. I don't know if I have. Oh no, I guess I don't have, because again, this room is in flux.
I've got all kinds of them, all different sizes.
Oh geez, it goes back to the 35 millimeter, but the 35 millimeter canister has a nice seal to it.
Yeah,
I've discovered that these eyedropper things.
Oh, they're good. They're good
Yeah.
for airbrushing paints.
Fit perfectly in a zip kicker bottle,
Mm.
and it's a bit more accurate than just spraying the stuff on.
yeah.
You use a lot less of it. You don't even have to squeeze the bulb. Just touch the end of it to the wherever you want your super glue.
Wicks out.
Yep. So
I have a little squeeze bottle with a needle applicator on it. I can't find one of those, and the ones that they have now, the needle applicator is like 2 mils wide. This thing is like really tiny. It's like a hypodermic needle, and I can't find it. And that's what I use, something similar to what you're showing there for the kicker. Because it comes with a spray bottle. Why would you want a spray bottle? A kicker.
Yeah.
you go through a lot more kicker that way, so you have to buy more bottles.
It'll get you a lot higher, a lot quicker, cause cancer better, I guess. It's hydrofluorocarbon is what it is.
I generally use a spray brush for a very thin nozzle on the spray end. It does the same sort of trick, where it reduces the amount of spray that comes in. So that's what I use.
Mm-hmm.
Well, looks like we're petering out. Gosh, I had something in my head earlier. Yeah, there you go. Don't commit it to memory, commit it to paper.
Committed with a spray jacket.
Trying to remember.
That's another thing to keep close to your bench is a notepad.
Oh?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Whether it's just a measurement or something that you need, or something is always keep a notepad handy.
Or even just cleaning off the extra paint on your brush.
Yeah.
Well, I use a super wide piece of masking tape to do that, and then just pull it up, throw it away, and it sticks to the surface so it doesn't move. But when I dry brush, I use tape a lot, and just put a drop of paint on it, and then work the paint to make it a dry brush. So I use a lot of masking tape, and I don't even use it for masking actually.
Actually, another good tool to have in your desk is a ruler. So you can measure out if you're doing a model kit.
A good metal ruler. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
If you're doing a model like a bike model, where you need to measure out the brake cable and the exhaust cable and stuff like that, you have a good solid ruler, and you'll be able to read it, no problem.
You know what's handy too is a modeler's T-square.
Right. Randall is showing a little one,
A little 6-inch rule.
Yeah.
I lost mine.
Handy for for tight spaces because
You got the imperial on there as well as the metric, and that's what I like about it. And I lost it. Son of a gun, I lost it. And I need to find another one. Maybe, hey, I guess I got to look on Amazon. And it's only like, what, 6 inches is what? How many millimeters is that? And that, you can even use that as a break if you're, there you go.
Yep. Something else that's handy is a pair of dividers.
Yeah.
Well, what would you use that
Pair
for?
of adjustable for replicating spacing. If you're trying to replicate where a bunch of holes are, but they want them all equal spaced, or anything like that, or size of parts you want to cut.
Rather than measuring each hole individually.
Measure it once, put it into the dividers, lock it in place, and you've got your measurement to copy all the time.
I guess I do it the hard way. I measure with calipers now. I remember the number.
Another good tool to have is a compass, not a directional compass, but what you do is not a directional compass.
No,
not a directional compass. You put a pencil on one side, and you got a needle on the other, and you put it into a piece of styrene, and you turn it around, and it makes a perfect circle.
Yeah.
So it's great for like if you're doing scratch building or something like that,
And
or even
templates.
something like Jim's doing.
Yeah.
What Jim's holding there.
Yeah.
You could even use the compass to do a homemade version of one of these.
That's it.
Yeah.
Substitute the blade for the pencil.
Well, a directional compass will probably be the only directions I'll ever get.
Another useful tool, boys, are these.
Ooh, what are they with that?
Oh yeah, butane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's designed for burning cakes on the top. It's a chef's cake.
It's like when you make creme brulee. Yeah, it melts the sugar to make a crispy top.
Yeah.
But it's ideal with the very fine, sharp blade you get, heat you get from this. It's good for the photo etch when you need to heat it up a little bit.
It also helps light build.
You can get them like this too, like the small ones.
Small ones. You can light your roaches that way too, right?
Yeah.
With your hemostat and your roaches. Okay, who's somebody here? Oh, Lou. Sorry, Lou. Lou. Add to stream. Oh, he's in the waiting room. He can't come in. I'm sorry, Lou. Comment. I thought I can add 10 people. It won't let me add you in. I guess it says series limit is 6 people. Oh, they lied. I guess I got that wrong.
They lied.
Sorry, Lou. I guess I gotta leave for you to come in. But if I leave, then nobody can bring you in.
Jack?
All right. Well, anyway, rolls of paper towels a must.
Jack?
Okay.
Yes.
I'm glad George brought that up because I use a lot of cotton balls.
Yeah.
Jack, I will do the honourable thing because I know Lou's a fascinating guy to talk to, and he has a lot of things to share. So I'm willing to bow out and let Lou come in.
Oh, thanks, Jamie. And it was good seeing you. Take care.
Take care, Jamie.
Cheers, Jamie.
See you later, Jamie.
All right. There you go. Hi, Lou.
Jamie, your sacrifice will not be forgotten.
Hey, there he is.
Something else that's handy is this nice small T-square.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice small square.
That's a lot of paper modeling stuff too. Does that rule slide along that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you get your.
Yeah, it's a normal.
Yeah.
It's a normal machine square. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice.
And another extremely useful tool, if you can find one, is the Tamiya.
Oh, the Tamiya drill.
Yeah,
That is a godsend.
it's good, but it's awfully low torque.
Yeah. But I mean, it's great. It's designed purely for drilling into plastic. It's no good for heavy duty stuff.
Mhm.
Very handy for drilling out all those windows, Star Destroyer.
Yep, lots and lots of. If you're drilling lots and lots of holes,
Yeah,
using a pin vise is going to make your fingers so sore, but you can use that. That's
and it is
really
nice because it is slow. It does not melt
Yeah.
the plastic and end up with more problems.
That's why we don't recommend using a Dremel
Right.
to drill the holes because it melts
It's
the
not.
way in.
It's too fast.
Yes.
I'm going to bow out too and let someone else in too. So I'll bow out.
Okay, Heath.
All
Have a
right,
good
Heath.
day.
Bye.
Hey,
Well, I'm just a person killer today, aren't I?
There's room.
Let's
Whoever.
see who else can I get rid of?
Something you don't use. Something you don't use much, but if you do, if you're scratching parts, and that is a protractor. This one,
What's next? You're going to bring out the abacus?
I got a couple I got a couple slide rulers too.
Yeah, slide rule and an abacus is next.
But yeah, but they're handy.
Oh yeah,
This one's pre-inscribed, so you can just run your pencil in the hole.
right.
Mark.
Figures out your angles for you.
See, if you're doing if you're doing balsa building too,
Yeah.
I found that a lot of balsa people, model builders, buy those as well.
Yeah.
Or use those, not buy them, use them.
Oh yeah.
But styrene kits, I mean, if you're doing your scratch build out of styrene, I would guess that would be it. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I will second the question. I can find them.
Well,
Describer, because what I did for this using this was I was able to just yesterday take this kit, put it on the table, scribe a straight line around the edge of it just by running this on the edge, and that gave me
Your mark.
mark for the to make sure that line was going to be straight around. But to me, the most valuable thing is an old T-shirt.
yeah, it catches I use it as a bib.
Well, there's that, and like what you were doing, Jack, I use it to make my dry brushing when I am, getting excess paint off of the brush. That's where.
Oh, okay.
When I am wiping a brush, that's where it goes. When I am cleaning out the airbrush, that's where it goes. It is invaluable.
Something else can be handy is a hot knife.
A what?
A hot knife.
A hot knife.
It's the unholy child of an X-Acto and a soldering iron.
Yeah.
Because you can't do enough damage to yourself with either.
Yeah, you can really mess yourself up with these things.
Well, maybe not. I mean, if it's hot enough, your cuts will be cauterized instantly.
That's it. It actually will cut you and cauterize you in the same
At the
moment.
same time, yeah.
Liam says an apron is an interesting.
Oh
tool.
yeah, shop apron. Yeah.
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 Particularly if you're painting, I
They're,
suppose.
well, especially they're hard to find, but they're
Oh.
very, very helpful. Especially when
Ruined
you drag.
a lot of T-shirts, and I hope I don't ruin this one. Look at this, Lou.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I got something first.
Yeah, a good Salee Valley one.
Yeah, just don't attach it to your desk, because as soon as you jump up, everything goes.
What I would need would be one of those an adult size bibs that
bib?
that has that little
Yeah.
bowl, for the want of a better word.
Yeah.
Well, that's
No one else has mentioned the obvious one though. A
What's
good
that?
a good can of Band-Aids.
oh, he said
Covered
Oh,
that.
did he? Did I catch him before he said it before? But yeah, because I have, you're gonna stab yourself. You're gonna cut yourself.
Oh, it's inevitable. You're going to.
yeah.
cut
So
yourself.
just have right there a little thing of Band-Aids where you can quickly get it on there.
Yeah, that's one of those accidents. It's not an if, it's a win.
Yeah. Well, to me, you're not fully participating in the hobby if you haven't cut yourself.
well, it's we've already determined that's the way we sign our work with the blood. That
With the
we put in.
blood, yeah.
Well, there's that, and there's the little skin that's left on the CA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always a little bit of there's always a
Adding
little,
your own DNA to your builds.
Yeah.
I did buy some CA solvent
Yeah.
as per your instructions, and the surface was ruined by it. But of course, it was a clear acrylic surface I was using it on. Long and short of it, we just had to buy a new acrylic. It was something to display. When we go on trips, Matt buys shot glasses, and he wanted a display case, and that's what it was a part of. Yes, Randall? And
Debonder.
the bonder, though, I would say, you said you can leave skin on with the CA. That is true, but it also works on fingers as well.
mm-hmm.
So if you're doing this and you're gluing, well, then again, if you got this glued like this, how are you going to open up the bottle?
That's when you have to phone. That's when you have to phone a friend.
And I did mention putting the nearest urgent care facility on speed dial too. So.
Yeah.
Paper towel and tape bandages work great. Now, tape bandages, they like a medical tape.
Yeah, the straight.
No,
medical
I've
tape,
had to do that. I've had to do that where it cut my thumb so damn bad that I had to grab some paper towel and then wrap some tape around the paper towel
Yeah.
to hold it all in. Yeah, I think I.
Tamia tape around it, I think, just to hold it all in place. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and oddly enough, in some cuts, you could just take that CA and put it right back together. So.
Well, Dwight says that he's a newbie here, and he says about small parts dropping on the floor prevention, dropping on the floor prevention. Randall came up with a telescopic magnet. If it's metal, like photo etch, I think it works on photo etch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, stainless or steel photo etch it does, not so much on the brass.
Yeah.
And
Having a portion of it, at least you.
Yeah, it's got a flashlight built into it.
But for actual prevention, if you remember, you mentioned that apron that you clip to the desk.
Yeah.
So when you drop stuff, it goes in the apron, not on the floor.
To me, the best prevention is having hardwood under your table, because then you can hear it land.
Yeah.
If you have carpeting or a rug or something, you're lost because you'd have no idea where it actually landed.
And doing your work over the bench.
Oh yeah, but I mean, things are going to spring. They're going to spring.
That's actually, yeah. The drawback with a hard surface is the part tends to bounce a bit further.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, keeping your floor clean.
You hear the click.
Yeah.
Hitting the hard surface, but then after that, it's up to itself where it went.
Yeah, the disheartening thing is you hear that little tink across the room.
Right. But keeping the floor clean so that anything that falls is new helps.
I was saying the best prevention is find another hobby. Anyway, it's 10 o'clock, or at least an hour has passed, and we have certainly filled an hour up with this banter. And
your work on the floor.
what's that?
Do your work on the floor. Things can't fall. They're on the floor already.
I have problems getting up off the floor again. So
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. If I don't have anything I can grab onto, I'm stuck on the floor.
What you need is
if I find myself on the floor, I look around to see if there's anything else useful I can do while I'm still there.
Yeah.
what you really need is a trained roach to bring it back up again.
Yeah. Oh, I have a cat. I wonder how much I could train him to retrieve parts.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
good luck with that, Randall.
you have cats that are on the floor. The cat would say, "Oh, goody! They can't tell me to get off the floor. They can tell me to get off the table, but they can't tell me to get off the floor. Goody, goody." Anyway, cats. Randall loves cats. I have a feeling.
And so, yep.
Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody. Dwight, thank you for coming into the Hangout, and I hope you joined us at the community, the Amazing Scale Model community on MeWe and on Facebook. Liam, thank you for stopping by, and hope your barbecue turns out delicious. And Liam and Randall are navigators, are administrators over at the Facebook community. I think they're navigators too. And of course, thank you for Jamie for showing up, as well as Heath for sharing their input on this. And let's see who else showed up. I want to save George for last. Russell. Hi, Russell stopped by and just said hello, good afternoon. That's probably because Russell's maybe in the UK. You wouldn't say that if he was stateside. And thanks, George. George is only a stone throws holler away from where I live. Thank you. I've never. We threatened to actually meet for lunch or something like that. I don't know, but that was a long time ago. But that never happened. It's not going to happen anytime soon. But thanks, George, for still stopping by. And of course, Mark's Hobby Bench just showed up. Good morning, Mark. And too bad you have to watch this on replay. And next time, let's see, what is this? September? No, it's not September. Heaven forbid.
August 1st.
August 5th is the next first Saturday of the month, as I tried to have it. We didn't have it the first Saturday of July because it was a holiday. It was Treason Day for the UK. So, we couldn't have it the first Saturday. We had a second, but holidays aside, we have this for an hour on the first Saturday of each month. And I'll come up with some other subjects. And if you have any suggestions or thoughts or feedback from this show or future, just let us know. Leave a comment on the video, and I keep saying like and subscribe because that just sounds so self-serving. Anyway, like and subscribe. I'd like to thank everybody here.
25 likes, hit the like
as well. Thanks, Lou, for coming up on the tail end there. And also Phil, thank you, and the evil panda. And where's Bob when you need him? And Randall, thank you for stopping by, as well as Jim. Jim, you have a lot of interesting thoughts, being the engineer mind that you are. And anyway, this is your host, Jack, and we'll come back in next month on the 1st. Go out there, happy modeling, and good day.
Good day.
Bye.
Bye.